Hello and welcome. You're watching LandPowerTV, and today we are going to be taking a closer look at the new Ineos Grenadier commercial. In this programme, in typical LandPowerTV style, we will be thoroughly evaluating the Ineos Grenadier. We'll be looking at its performance both on and off the road, its performance as a daily driver and a commuter, and also its potential as a working farm vehicle. Now, with the change in recent tax laws affecting the future of the 4x4 four-door pickup, the introduction of the new commercial Grenadier is arguably a very prudent move by Ineos. Underneath, it has a ladder frame chassis which has been powder coated and wax oil injected. At each end of the vehicle there are Carrero beam axles. These are mounted on I-back coil springs, which are progressive rate coil springs, providing 9 inches of articulation at the front and 12 inches of articulation at the rear. You have a 2-range transfer box which is built by Tremec, which incorporates a diff lock on the centre differential. Under the hood of this beast we have a BMW B57 6-cylinder turbocharged diesel which produces around 245 horsepower and a considerable 505 newton meters of torque at between 1250 and 3200 RPM. As standard, the commercial comes on steel wheels, 17-inch steel wheels, with BF Goodrich all-terrain TA tyres. Now this vehicle, it comes as a very, very base model, and this particular vehicle that we're testing has received a few upgrades. You've got the high-level snorkel. We've got the Nerf bars here to stop you damaging the underside of the vehicle, and inside the cab, we've got leather seats. The standard vehicle comes with cloth seats, but these are actually a well worth upgrade because they are very, very comfortable. The interior of the vehicle is very rugged and practical. The Grenadier has a wading depth of 800 millimeters, and inside, that means if you get water ingress inside, the water can come up to here without damaging the electrical system. So you could literally have your feet underwater without damaging the vehicle's electrics. Now, having said that, in testing, the Ineos Grenadiers were repeatedly driven upstream in rivers in different parts of the world, and according to form, not once did any of the test drivers or the engineers get wet, because the size of the seals on these doors makes them virtually impregnable to water and dirt and muck. At the rear of the vehicle we've got the 25/75 barn doors. Perfect if you've got a trailer hitched on the drawbar, so you can still open and access the back of the vehicle. This side, we've got another door that opens out like this. If you push both doors out as far as you can, you've got enough room to put a Euro pallet in the back. And it's been designed specifically so that you can actually put it in with a fork truck. In here, we've got anchor points. There is actually anchor points across the entire deck. Up here, up there. Plus you've got grab handles, you've got a nice strong cage there at the back to stop anything passing through the front, to secure your load to that. And it is a very, very capacious vehicle. We'll talk a little bit more about towing capacities and stuff a little bit later in the programme, but as you can see here, you've got your hitch, we've got the towing eyes at the back as well, you've got towing eyes front and back, and apparently I think these are rated at something like 8,000 kilograms, the towing eyes, obviously not the drawbar. In terms of drawbar capacity, these vehicles were tested to pull over 4,500 kilograms. Obviously legally they can't do that, but that's what they tested them to do during the development programme. In terms of practical features, the Ineos has been designed to be easy to repair, because obviously a vehicle that's being used for extreme operation, whether it be on a farm or rescuing people off the side of a mountain, is going to get damaged and scratched. The composite panels which make up the fenders and the bonnet and everything here are all easily replaceable. If you scuff the bumper, these parts all unbolt and they're all easily replaceable. The grille and everything out the front of the vehicle could come out if you need to get engine access. It's not a case of lifting the body off, but you can actually do the old-fashioned way and remove the parts to get at it. The Ineos Grenadier comes with a key. It appears that Ineos has retained the old-fashioned key because keys can't be electronically copied in the same way that fobs can. And also, if you have a spare key, you can always start the vehicle. The screen directly in front of the driver is your idiot lights or your warning lights, so it shows you your lights are on, your seat belts, your park brake, your engine warning light, etc. Over here, in this screen, on the right hand side, you have your vehicle information. So you've got your speed, your engine RPM, the gear ratio that you're operating in, the fuel, engine temperature, range, mileage, and so on. Now, the control systems in this car may look complicated, but they're really not. They're all designed so they're chunky for operation with big hands or hands that are wearing gloves. Down here we've got the rotary dial, which allows you to change the options on the screen while you're driving along, so you can actually control the menus without having to take your hands off or touch the screen. In the capacious glove compartment we have both a USB and USB connectors for external power. The same applies behind the glove compartment here, where you can see I've got a cable plugged in. Now, in a normal Grenadier, this would be for the rear passengers, but obviously since this is a commercial, you have actually 4 power points available to you to the front passengers. And I've actually got a very long lead here, which I've been using because apparently you get more power out of the ones for the rear passengers than you do from the front. A neat feature that I like in this car particularly is, so on a lot of vehicles, if the key's not on the ignition, the USB connectors don't work. In this car, you've got these lights up here, these switches up here. That particular one allows you to have the electronics inside the vehicle working, so you can lock the car up and walk away with it, and you can still leave your phone or battery packs charging. At your request, Ineos will actually wire the vehicle so that you can have external electronics. So for example, you can have roof lighting or front and rear power for the winches, and they would be turned on and off like this. This vehicle doesn't actually have them because it's an option. Our switches here in the other overhead console, you've got your off-road modes over here, which of course is optional. You've got your differential locking here, and then you've got your exterior lighting options and some other bits and pieces here. I quite like this actually because the switches are out the way, and it gives it a little bit sort of an aircraft feel. Right, so that's enough waffling about the Grenadier's features. Now let's put it to the test. So this is the Ineos Grenadier. This particular vehicle is the commercial vehicle, the van if you like, which falls into a lower tax bracket, gives you the ability to get the VAT back, etc, etc. It is a 4-wheel drive van like the old Troopers and Land Cruisers and Nissan Patrols and vehicles of the past, the long traditional vehicles. But it's brought it up to date in the 21st century with a combination of wonderful components, a little bit of technology, and only a little bit, but some very clever technology, and a level of refinement that arguably has never been offered before in a vehicle of this type.